Awesome. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Stefek. I am the chair for the Downtown Kissimmee Area Council, one of the 9 amazing councils of the Kissimmee Osceola Chamber of Commerce. We're excited today to talk a little bit about the upcoming small business grants that are provided by the city of Kissimmee. And we have an amazing guest today, Mr. Craig Holland. He is the City of Kissimmee's Development Services Director. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm going to read your really cool bio here so everybody knows a little bit more about you. So if you don't know Craig, you should. And he has been the Development Service Director at the City of Kissimmee for 13 years and been with the city altogether 20 years in total. So if you don't know anything about the Development Services Department, it includes multiple things like planning, building, code enforcement, community redevelopment agency, CRA, and the housing division. He has lived and worked in downtown Kissimmee for 14 years. And when he isn't working, Craig and his partner Victor enjoy cooking at home. They like watching movies at home. They like shopping online at home. They socialize virtually from home and pick out which mask they're going to wear when they leave the home. So welcome officially, Craig.
Thanks, Bree.
Craig, see, it looks like you got out of home and you're in the office today, yeah?
Yeah, I decided to come into the office today. So
okay,
I'm pretty excited
awesome.
to be out of the house.
Cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about small business grants. What does that look like?
So the city, if you go to the next slide, please. So the city received money from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, federal government, in the form of what's called a CDBG CV grant. And that's a Community Development Block Grant, COVID response. So it was additional money that we normally don't get. And of that money, we put together 2 programs, a micro business enterprise assistance program and a small business assistance program. And each program we were able to fund about $106,000. And these are grant programs. So once the money is awarded to a business, it does not have to be paid back.
Awesome.
And this is going to be, the grants are to cover for businesses that are behind in a lease payment, a mortgage payment, or any utility payment from June 1st forward. And we are limiting it to 1 month per business. And that's so we can help as many businesses as possible. So if you'd like to go to the next slide, I can cover. So what we've heard is, how do I know if I'm eligible? So it's pretty simple. You have to be inside the city limits. And when you get to the application, it's an online application. There's a tool that you'll be able to see whether you're in the city or not, because a lot of people have a Kissimmee mailing address, but they're not actually in the city limits. And it can be confusing. So you have to be in the city limits. The business has to be creating or retaining at least 1 job to receive the grant. So if you're maintaining an employee that you would have laid off if you didn't get the grant, or you're creating a new position and hiring a new employee, you'd be eligible for the grant. Also, then the employees hired or retained must be considered low mod income. And there's a chart that says, based on their family size, how much they could make. And it's really not that hard. The numbers per household are higher than you think they would be. So it's just a federal standard we have to apply because it's federal money. And then that person, whoever's retained or hired, has to be employed for another 6 months.
Okay.
And then you basically have to be behind on your lease payments, your mortgage payments, or utility payments as of June 1st and forward.
Okay.
So let me get my notes here. So if you want to go to the next page, please. So it's going to be super simple to apply. We've worked really hard to make this really easy to apply. There's a web page, KissimmeeResponse.com /business assistance. You go to that page, and starting either later today or first thing Monday, there'll be additional information, and you'll actually be able to register. So then when the application process opens up, you'll be able to get right in and start working on your application. So, and applications are only going to be accepted online. And there'll be additional information at that link also starting probably later today, if not first thing Monday or over the weekend. So we have an application period. And the reason why we did the application period is it provides less stress for the businesses. It's not a first come, first serve program. So a business can take the whole week to fill out the application as long as it's submitted by the end of the period, you're good. So if you open it up and you have to get some documentation, don't stress about it. You have a lot of time to fill it out. And that starts next Wednesday on the 15th of July at 8 a.m. And it's open a full week. So it'll go till Tuesday at 5 p.m. on July 21st. If you want to go to the next slide. So if you have any questions, we have partnered with the Osceola Kissimmee Chamber of Commerce, and they are actually going to be doing the processing of the applications and paying out of the grants. So you can call their main line at 407-847-3174, or check the link that we had up before, and that will answer a lot of your questions and everything. So I'd be happy to help or answer any questions or anything you have, Bree.
Sure.
So
I just kind of want to make sure, you said there were two different grant programs, and I assume one was for small business and one was called micro enterprise. What are the difference, and how do you know which one you fall into?
Okay, so it's based on employee size. So micro enterprises are 1 to 5 employees, including the business owner or owners. So it's anything 5 employees or less. And then a small business is anything from 6 to 75 employees, again, including the owner. The grant amounts are different. Micro enterprises are eligible for a total of $5,000 in a grant, and the small business is eligible for $10,000, but it's for the same things.
Awesome. And then that money can only be used for, it's not retroactive fees, correct? It can only be used for rent or things moving forward, correct? Not anything that has already happened?
Correct. So if a business finds themselves behind in mortgage payments or lease payments or utility payments before June 1st, you can go to Osceola County's webpage, and their webpage is, and Bree, you may have to help me with this because I threw away my note with the webpage on it.
It's weopenedsafely.com.
Right. So they have multiple business programs. And several of them are available to businesses in the city, even though it's an Osceola County program. And so one of the reasons why the dates for assistance are the way they are is to help more businesses. So you're able to say anything prior to June 1st, you can go to the county and get assistance. And then after June 1st, you can come to us, and you can get assistance from both jurisdictions.
Oh, okay, good. That was my next question.
It doesn't cover the same time period. So,
awesome.
But it's very important that a business checks out all the web pages and assistance possible. If you're in St. Cloud, you can go to the St. Cloud webpage, which is stcloud.org. They have a business assistance program too. Okay.
Awesome. So there's multiple avenues that you can look to as a business owner to get assistance.
Our page actually has quite a few federal links and different programs that aren't just city programs, but it's a pretty broad selection of business assistance programs. Not all money-based. There's some, expertise and just, support-based things.
Okay, awesome. So if I'm a business owner and I want more information and want to get signed up, I can go on the website right now, the City of Kissimmee's one, right? KissimmeeResponds.com.
Right.
And I can almost get like a save the date or like a reminder that if I log in and I want to know when the application period opens, I can sign up for that. And on the 15th at 8 a.m., I'll get a notification saying, hey,
I'm actually not sure you'll get a notification. And the login may not be available right at this moment, but it'll be very soon. If not today, it'll be Monday morning.
Monday.
Monday morning. But then with that login, you'll get your own direct login that when the program opens, you'll be able to go straight to an application to fill out. And you have the ability to save your application and come back to it later. If you get to something where you have need to get some documentation, you can save it and go forward. So, but I don't believe it's going to send you a reminder. So Wednesday morning, the 15th of July at 8 a.m. is when it opens up. But I do want to stress that you have a whole week to fill out the application. It's not, like I said, it's not a first come, first serve. And we didn't want anybody to feel a lot of undue stress, because the last thing any of us need right now is more stress. So
Yes, agreed.
yeah.
Well,
So
thank you very much.
well, you're welcome. We just thought it would be, if you had a week and you could do it at your leisure,
Right.
that's the best way to do it. So again, Wednesday, July 21st, just like it says at the bottom of the screen, 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Awesome. And then as long as they have it 100% submitted by the 21st at 5 p.m., they'll be eligible for the random selection.
Yes.
Is that correct?
So
okay,
again,
awesome.
to assure fairness, once we have a group of completed applications, they'll be randomly selected, and that's an electronic process. It's not anybody that
human
doing it. It's electronic and everything. And one question that has come up is, even though the chamber is our partner, you do not have to be a chamber member.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure they'd love to have you as a member, and they're always willing to talk to you about that, but you do not have to be a chamber member to apply for the grant.
Okay, awesome. Is there a timeline on when the grants will be awarded?
So we are still waiting for the funding. It has been secured, and there's what's called a funding agreement that we're working on now. By the time the grants are processed after the 21st, the funding should be in, and we should be able to start paying out the lease payments and the mortgage payments and the utility payments. So I'm guessing it'll be probably towards the end of August.
Okay.
Yes. Now, one important factor is the payments go directly to your leaseholder, your mortgage holder, and the utility company. The businesses will not be getting cash directly infused to them. So, because we want to make sure that the grant serves its purpose and nobody's being evicted or their utilities are being shut off because of non-payment.
Awesome. And it's less work for the business owner.
Yeah,
it goes directly. So
yes.
Again, thank you for that. Cool. The only other thing that I just want to clarify for myself, and hopefully for everyone out there, is can you go over the low mod income employee, just what that looks like for a micro enterprise and a small business?
Sure. So there's one slight difference between the two programs. On the micro enterprise side, because we're talking about such a small business, and sometimes it's just one person, if the business owner is what's considered low moderate income, then they're also eligible. For the small business, it's all based on the employees. So the micro enterprise, it's either the owner or the employees. The small business, it's just the employees. So anytime you have federal money for something like this, it's dedicated to what's considered a member of a low or moderate income household. And that's based on 80% of the area median income. And our area is the Orlando metro area, and it includes a much bigger area than just Kissimmee. So, and then it's based on family size, one person, two people, three people. So, and it goes up to 8. So, what you have to do is make less than that dollar amount. And on our webpage, there'll be a table that shows you that, say we have an employee, Joe, and he works for a micro enterprise, and he's one of 3 employees. And with this grant, the business will not have to lay him off. So what they'll do is they will establish that Joe has a wife and 2 kids. So he has a household of 4. And they will look, and I can't quote you the numbers off the top of my head, but let's say it's $45,000. So if he makes under $45,000, he's considered low mod. So they qualify for the program, and that would include him and his wife's salary if his wife worked. And then all they have to do is make sure he's employed for another additional 6 months. And then, but the money is awarded up front. And again, people hear the low mod and they get a little panicky. The numbers are not super low. 80% of the median income for a household size in Florida, it's actually, or in our area, is actually, they're good numbers. So it's not that hard for somebody to be below that. So again,
Okay.
all that information will be on our webpage.
Okay, awesome. Wow, that's a lot of really great information. And I think as a business owner, they should, be really excited about the opportunity to get a little assistance in this kind of interesting time that we're all in, we'll say.
Right.
Is there anything else that you want to kind of sum up or add important things
Actually,
or last, if anybody's just tuning in?
Actually, we've pretty much covered everything. So like I said, if you haven't been to KissimmeeResponse.com, or just the regular Kissimmee webpage, and it'll take you to our COVID response page. Check it out. It has a ton of information, and a lot of your questions can be answered there, and it'll point you in the right direction with questions. And just everybody be safe out there.
Awesome. And we did have one question that just popped in. So if a business is currently getting the PPP or the EIDL money, is that something that negates them from being eligible, or does that have, are we two separate?
The only time it would stop you from getting that if it's for a lease or mortgage or utility payment after June 1st. So like PPE is protective equipment. I'm not completely sure what the other one was, but yeah. So
for payroll or different things.
So,
that
yeah. So it's really just, there's two things you need to look at is what you're getting the money for and the time period you're getting the money for. So you can't get a rent payment twice in May, but you can get one in May and you can get one in June, and it may be from different organizations. So it's a pretty simple kind of rule to follow. Just make sure it's not for the same time period and it's not for the same thing.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for that question and for answering that as well. So one final push here for the website, which is KissimiResponse.com/business assistance. And you can check that out later today and over the weekend for some more information. And then look forward or set your alarms for Wednesday on the 15th. So that is when the application period opens. And then we can get, there we go.
There we go.
Boom. Perfect. Right there on the bottom. And if you're looking for assistance currently, feel free to check out the Osceola County assistance webpage, which is we'veopenedsafely.com. And that can assist you there. And you can get as much help as out there. So excellent. Craig, thank you so much for joining us and for being a wealth of knowledge as always. We appreciate you. And for the Kissimmee Osceola Chamber of Commerce and the Downtown Kissimmee Area Council, I'm Bree Stefek. Thank you so much for tuning in and stay safe. We'll see you soon.
See you later. Bye.